The Joe Rogan Experience.
I've been in here in jumps and spurts.
Right.
And in those jumps and spurts, you have become like the most powerful fucking broadcaster on the planet. Like crazy popular everywhere. And you can crack a smile. You know I'm right and shit.
Well,
don't go hard on me.
No, it's weird.
Why?
Because
can't you enjoy it? Come on, motherfucker. I wanted to, like, my whole life, I wanted to be at the top of something.
Really?
You are at it. I was at the top of podcasts for like a minute back when we started and shit, back in the old Fleshlight days. But like, you are now beyond. You've transcended the fucking medium. You got to tell me don't wince. You got to tell me it feels good. Otherwise, what am I striving for in my career? And to be honest, I don't really strive, if you've seen the shit I do. But like, there is an idea of like, oh man, at the top, it must be amazing. And like, no bullshit, you're absolutely at the top. You had fucking Snowden on your podcast, dude.
Everything feels exactly the same, but different.
Explain.
It's still fun. I still enjoy talking to people like you, and I had my friend Kyle Kalinske on earlier. I've had some really interesting people on. I've always enjoyed talking to interesting people, so that's the same. Everything's the same in that regard. It's different in that it's very obvious when I go places that it's having more of an impact, because you're the same person, right? But the world changes. Like the impact, you put out the signal and the world sort of changes and shifts.
Right.
More lovers, more haters, more this, more that.
Everything just increases. It becomes more.
Yeah, it becomes more. It becomes weird. People want to interview you. People want to do things, and I don't do any of those things.
Can I tell a quick story?
Yeah.
Because I never want to cut you off, because I could listen to you. You're just a shame, and you're a guru. I love coming here, and I have loved coming here. But now there's this different onus to it, because it's like, I better use my time wisely. Fucking Bernie Sanders is next. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nice, but this is how authentic Rogan is. So we're making Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. And I reach out to like everybody I know about being in the movie. And, even the people that are like, oh man, I don't want to go to New Orleans. That's far. I'm like, you do remember I almost died of a fucking heart attack. Like, all right, I'm coming. I guilted like everybody into coming. So Jordan, who's our producer, Jason Muse's wife, she runs our company. She's like, I reached out to Joe's manager and he said he's not interested. I was like, you know what? Let me handle this. Like, I'll reach out to Joe. I got Joe on direct. I don't need a manager, man. Some 10% are fucking getting between me and my boy and shit. So I fucking emailed or texted Joe, and I was like, hey man, we're making Reboot. Do you want to come play? And just flat out on Front Street, as true as it can be, he goes, I hate that acting shit. That's what you wrote. And you were like, I'm flattered, but I don't want to do that. He's like, I'll talk to you about it when it's done. I was like, all right. That's how authentic you are. You're in a place right now where you're like, can't fucking ruin my credibility with shit like acting anymore.
It's not a ruin the credibility
What
thing.
is it?
I don't like doing it. It takes too much time. I don't have a whole day.
And that's not critical. That is not, and that was not me going, look, what I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was adorable, honestly.
I'm trying to do less
so on
things.
brand.
Yeah.
Why? Tell me why.
Because I do too much. Between all the podcasts that I do, doing commentary for the UFC, doing stand-up comedy, there's a lot of things.
Those 3 things you've been doing for the last fucking decade, bro.
There's a lot of things.
I mean, they've all increased, perhaps.
Yes.
Like, I'm not in the fighting world, so I don't know if your jobs there have exponentially increased. I knew you were always a big part of it.
I've actually cut that back a lot, and the more I've cut that back, the more I cut things back, the happier I am.
And then stand-up, has that
stand-up
increased?
is not cut back at all.
So this has increased.
This has increased quite a bit, yeah. And so the idea, like, I'm doing 6 podcasts this week. And then I'm flying to New York on Thursday, and then I'm doing Artie Lang on Friday in New York. So that would be a 7th podcast. We're going to carry that one over to the next week.
Right.
But it's just, that does not leave any room for trips to New Orleans to do a movie. It doesn't leave any room to do anything. I get all these weird requests to do things that just are not interesting. I don't want to do them. And yours is one of the most interesting things.
I know, and believe me, I'm not putting you on the spot going like, why didn't you come?
I just don't have time.
It was the most on-brand fucking response, and it was also a lesson in like, let me reach out. This manager knows nothing, and the manager knew exactly.
My manager is a rare thing. She knows exactly how I feel about everything. She doesn't, I say no to everything, man.